On August 3rd, 1949, the BAA and the NBL merge to form the NBA. But what is the story behind the invention of the sport of basketball? And what rule change helped save the young NBA just 5 years after the merger? Also, what can you see at a visit to the Basketball Hall of Fame? Basketball was invented in 1891 in Springfield, Massachusetts, by Canadian-born James Naismith, a physical education instructor at the International YMCA Training School, now Springfield College. The harsh New England winters limited outdoor sports, so Naismith devised an indoor game using a soccer ball and 2 peach baskets. His 13 rules were the foundation of a new sport that quickly caught on, both in the US and internationally through the YMCA network. The Midwest Basketball Conference formed in 1935 and became the National Basketball League, or NBL, in 1937. It existed only in smaller Midwestern cities like Fort Wayne, Sheboygan, and Akron. Games were generally played in gymnasiums, with limited room for spectators. In 1946, another league, the Basketball Association of America, or BAA, formed. It had a different model, locating itself in major cities and larger arenas like the Boston Garden and New York City's Madison Square Garden. 2 years later, in 1948, 4 NBL teams moved to the upstart BAA. One of them, the Minneapolis Lakers, brought the biggest star in either league, center George Mikan. The 2 leagues decided to merge a year later, choosing the name National Basketball Association, or NBA. The fledgling NBA initially had 17 teams, but contracted to 11 after its first season. By 1954, only 8 teams remained. That same year, a major rule change, the 24-second shot clock, made the game faster paced and more fun to watch. Soon, the NBA started drawing fans, leading to major expansion in the 1960s and 70s, and to another merger in 1976, this time with the American Basketball Association, or ABA. In 2026, Mrs. Lewis and I visited the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, appropriately located in the birthplace of the sport, Springfield, Massachusetts. It was fun to learn about the history of basketball and to see so much iconic memorabilia, from the earliest years of the game to the beginnings of those groundbreaking professional leagues. From trailblazing moments to the NBA's golden age when I was growing up, and to an iconic superstar lost to tragedy. I was able to view displays about some of my all-time favorite players, and both Mrs. Lewis and I were able to size ourselves up against some NBA greats. We were awed by the Hall of Honor, where the name of each Hall of Famer is listed. I also took a crack at shooting baskets into an actual peach basket, and even starred in a simulated segment on Inside the NBA. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1031, King Olaf II, a central figure of Norwegian national identity, is canonized as a Christian saint. In 1492, Italian-born Christopher Columbus set sail from Spain in search of a western sea route to Asia. In 1846, the ill-fated Donner Party finds a note warning them that their shortcut to California is nearly impassable. In 1914, the German Empire declares war on France just 2 days after declaring war on Russia. In 1958, the nuclear-powered USS Nautilus reaches the North Pole by sailing underneath the Arctic ice cap. In 1963, the Beatles play the tiny Cavern Club in their hometown of Liverpool for the last time. In 2023, NBA legend Michael Jordan officially sells his majority share of the Charlotte Hornets. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. Which English rock band was forced to cancel a planned US tour when its lead singer was seriously injured in a car accident while vacationing in Greece in 1975? Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, The Who, or the Rolling Stones? Liked learning about the merger that created the NBA? Then you'll love this one about the NFL-AFL merger. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.